Yeah, just Lee. Yeah, this is the new Shark OpenSpot 2, and it's yeah, it's wirelessly. So there's no connections on it. There's just a power connection and there's a reset button in there, and that's about it. It has a nice bright LED, multi-colored LED in it. It lights up. You can go on the internet and see all the movies about it. It is nice. I've really got something nice. It works with my iPhone. It's laying here in the front seat, and I can run it on a battery pack too, one of those little battery packs that you use to charge your phone with. But yeah, it's working great. I've got an MP380 here, external mic, and I got a battery eliminator on that. And then right next to my phone is the OpenSpot 2. I do have the OpenSpot 1, the original one, about 2 years ago, and that's at home, and that works just fine. But this in the car is just phenomenal.
Just playing DMR in the shack.
And I've done some cross banding on C4FM on the Yaesu side, and I haven't done any D-Star with it yet, but mostly DMR. Back to you, Lee. Mark. Back to you, Lee.
I was trying to get into the bridge, the Papa link. There's a D-Star that links to the...
Is the audio okay?
That I could,
Is the audio working?
DMR, and there's supposed to be a bridge or something. Fusion and D-Star and some other all connect together somehow. Well, anyways, yeah, I like that OpenSpot.
Just getting my head around this live chat thing. Just having a bit of fun here.
Sure sounds like a small way to go. And sounds great. Just like you're standing right here next.
Right, anyone I know out there watching?
Nice packet loss either. You got pretty good packet coverage. Anyways, I just...
And can anyone identify all of these radios in front of you?
And I appreciate the info on the OpenSpot too. Yeah, that's a good one. The Shark makes a good one. KD6QCZ, over to you.
So I'm just messing about with DMR, messing about with YouTube Live, seeing if anyone actually watches it.
I'll go ahead and sign with you. But real good out of Oklahoma there. Real good. Kilo Delta 6,
I'm very impressed, Alan. I thought that would be the hardest one.
KB9 WLX. Real good. Fine business. Yeah, that OpenSpot 2 from Shark is real. Pricey,
what model is it, though?
But it's really easy to set up and use. And it handles all these different modes.
What model Jupiter is it?
It'll satisfy most people. It's real small, too. You can't believe how small this thing is. It's smaller than a mouse for a computer. It's like a little small miniature mouse. But anyway, real good. They do a real nice job with it.
Well done, Alan. If anyone doesn't know, I picked this up on Friday.
But things are working for a lot of people.
It's a scanner from 1990.
Happy holidays there, KB9WLX Mobile. I'll be listening for you.
And it's the best scanner for sideband.
Yeah, KB9WX Mobile.
It's got coverage from 0 to 1650 megahertz.
You're mobile safe out there. Watch for black guys.
And it just picks up SSB fantastic. I've had all these scanners that do SSB, and not one of them is as good as this. This is the Jupiter MVT 7100. And in its day, this was I bought one of these for about £300 in 1991. And it is the best scanner, full stop. Well, handheld anyway. Very sensitive on sideband. I had a little Kenwood one that did sideband. It was absolutely hopeless. I had an AOR 8000 it was very good, but it didn't compare to this. And I'll be doing a video on this. So Alan, you recognise the radio. Do you agree with my comments on you know, it being a very good radio? Is the sound okay, by the way? Yeah, well, I'd like to show you what it can do, but unfortunately, I don't get a lot of HF in here. I get noise, got so much noise, I struggle. Yeah, good, thanks about the sound report. So, yeah, the Jupiter 7100. I'm going to be doing not a review of it, but I'm going to be doing a few videos on that, Alan. I'm going to be taking it out in the, you know, go for a spin in the car, go out in the countryside where there's no noise and see what I can pick up on it. And like I said, it picks up SSB fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And bearing in mind this is, you know, 30 years old, I think I've picked up a real gem here. You know, it's good condition. So it's got 1,000 memory channels, 10 search bands of 100. No, 10 search bands, 10 banks of 100. It's got memory pass feature. It's actually very easy to program. It's very, very easy to program. There's actually, if you just type in Jupiter 7100, someone has created a manual for it. An easy to understand manual, and it's one of the first or second that comes up in a search. Yeah, Shafi's commenting, it has a far reach. You mean it has a good range? It picks up well compared to bands on VHF and UHF. Yeah, but that's the nature of HF, but it is a very good receiver. I mean, I will be doing a test if anyone's interested in it. I'll be doing a test on HF between the 7100, sorry, yeah, 7100. I've got two 7100s. I've got the Jupiter 7100, and I'll just spin it round, and I've got the Icon 7100, and I've got the 7300. So that'll be an interesting test compared to that. So I'll just be messing about here on the radio. So Shafi, hope I haven't annihilated your name. Shafi, have you got the or had the 7100? So I'm just going to go and get a drink in the other room. I'll be back in a second. But in a minute I'm going to ask you which is the best one between the Alliance HD1 and the Anytone 868. And I might as well throw in the other one, the Retevis RT3S. So which is the best one? Put it in the comments. I'll be back in a moment. Just going for a top up. Right, so back from the other room. Okay, so let's do a roll call on the radios. Who's got a Alliance HD1? Who's got a Alliance HD1? And the 7100 does 0 to 1650 megahertz, 0 to 1650, and it's all modes included, you know, sideband, upper sideband, lower sideband. So anyone else got a HD1? Yeah, Gray's got a HD1. That's good. Chef, that's 2 for the HD1. I mean, that's not bad out of 8 people watching. So any more for the HD1? Okay, so we've done the HD1. Cracking radio. Really like that one. What don't we like about it? There's not much I don't like about it, actually. It's got an annoying pop when you when someone keys up, that the initial noise, there's a crackle, there's a pop, and it's not an issue, but it's a hardware thing. And sometimes when you switch, you haven't used it for a while, you switch it on and the time goes. You know, you switch it on and it's blank, and then you have to switch it off and on. You have to switch it on twice. Has anyone else had that? But no, I do like the radio. It's got a fantastic VFO mode. But absolutely cracking radio. I bought that one with my own money. I do get sent them to review, but that is my own money. Anytone 868. Who has got an Anytone 868?
Well, you're in Tennessee, Katie, 6QCZ.
No one's got an Anytone 868. I think Alan's got one.
I'm not sure. Was that for me, sir? This is KE7UA. Yes, sir, I am. About 35 miles east of Memphis.
Yeah, I thought I saw you out here earlier.
So anyone got an Anytone 868
Somebody on some island.
or an Anytone 878?
Name was. Anyways, that sounds good. Yeah, 13 miles from Memphis.
Yeah, I'm actually 35 miles east of Memphis, Somerville, Tennessee. Yeah, just glad to see someone's hearing me. Just did a firmware upgrade and also a database download. I'm quite sure everything was working, Lee. Glad you could hear me.
Okay, well, no one's got the Anytone 868. I'm very surprised. I don't know if
Really good. Sounds really good. Good audio.
perhaps my audio's not working. I can't believe no one's got an Anytone 868. You know, I'm also including the Anytone 878 or any of the clone versions.
RF open spot that I've had ever since the beginning. I just got started with DMR back in about April on an MD3.
How's the picture, guys, on the screen? How's the live feed? Is it doing okay?
Well, that MD 380 is a good little radio. My wife's got one. Likes it. I'm talking to you on the H.
Okay, what's this radio? What's this radio on the table?
Made by Rivers.
I'll put it in the middle.
Name's Lee here. KD6 Quebec.
What's this radio here? It's not an MD 380.
Okay, Jared, go ahead. KD6
Yeah, thanks, Gray.
Yeah, okay, Lee. Well, yours sounds very good too. There's a lot of different radios out there right now, but I just have a pick the MD380. I don't know, wouldn't mind maybe having an Anytone.
There's Joey talking on TAC 310. He's got an MD 380. He's a good old boy, is he? He's got a 380. Right, what's this one? This isn't a 380.
Wow. Well, I won't keep. I just happened to see a station come on from Collierville, Tennessee. It's only about 15 miles from me here, so I thought I'd say hello to him through TAC 310. So I won't hold it up here. Temperature about 42 degrees. And
Anyone know what this radio is? I've talked about it in the past. Retovis sent me this free of charge. Although it doesn't make any difference on my... It's not my favourite radio.
Sounds good. That's about what we got here.
I'm not just going to say it's my favourite because they sent me it. It's the best value radio, the Retovis RT3S. I'm surprised no one's identified that. It's got a V, a tick, a V in the logo. That's how you can identify it.
Go ahead. KD6QCZ. You'll go from. Clear?
So what DMR radios have you guys got watching?
This is KN4 ELR on TAC 310.
So has anyone got an MD 380? Anyone got a GD 77? Anyone got any of the other Retovis radios or TYT?
I'm copying you, William. I just give you a call. I'm in Somerville here, or actually Oakland almost. I'm a quarter of a mile east of Oakland. Just happen to see you come on.
Yeah, Shafi, he's got the Alliance HD1. I mean, that radio does everything. If I just had one radio for FM and DMR, it wouldn't be this one. It wouldn't be the Retovis RT3S unless, you know, money was an issue. If I wanted the cheapest one, I'd get the Retovis RT3S.
I guess I'm permanent here in Somerville. Been here 17 years.
If I wanted the nicest design and small, fairly, you know, easy to use, I would get the Anytone 868. And if I wanted high power and to be able to program it out in the field, I'd get the Alliance HD1. Right, so Gray, thanks for commenting. Oh, he's got quite a few there. Right, Gray's got the HD1. Very good choice. He's got the MD380. This is an MD380 clone. It's a Retovis RT3. And I've got the hat firmware on it. And I picked that up for £30, second hand. I've got two of these. I've got one I use at home, because it's got the ad hoc method in the firmware. You know, the hat firmware, you can just type in the talk group and off you go. That's the one I use in the house with a very small aerial. and that's the one I use in the car.
Say hello to you and
Got another one.
catch you again sometime. KE7UA near Memphis.
It's just so handy in the car. It's got 16 clicks on the top, you know, on the clicker switch. And that's ideal for using in the car because you can count the clicks
KE7UA.
and you know what channel you're
Alpha
on.
Charlie 2, Mexico Kilo. How copy?
Now Gray was come up with a list. If anyone else has got any DMR radios,
Okay,
put them in the
very
list,
good,
what you've
Todd.
got.
Good afternoon
Put them
to
in the
you.
chat, sorry.
Area,
Um,
35 miles east of
and
Memphis. AC2MK.
he's also got the TYT 2017. Now I did have the TYT MD 2017 and that was the first dual band radio that came out for DMR,
Yeah, okay, there was no
one of the first,
but they're not making
and I
it.
jumped on that,
Yeah, name's Tom
and I
Brown,
actually got the
Brooklyn,
TYT, and it had
Brooklyn, New York.
aerial problems, you know, the aerial socket was breaking.
Into a local
They used cheap components for the aerial socket, and I didn't like the trackball,
Well, sounded good, Todd.
and I sold it because you know, I passed it on because I didn't want to have any problems with it.
This year, I just did a firmware
But I did like the operating system
download the latest
and the
database, so, check it out.
where is it? The Retivis RT3S
Sounds like it is, but, good
is
to
£100.
Todd, go ahead.
It's £100 and it's running the same software as the MD 2017. It's running the same software, so it's a dead cheap version of the MD 2017. It doesn't have the trackball. It seems quite a bit quicker than the MD 2017, so this is a very good option, the Retivis RT3S. And Gray in the chat, he's got the TYT MD 9600.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I'm certainly aware that the Shark
That's a mobile
2
unit.
got the original Shark R.
And I'm just checking, Gray,
We'll get right now.
which version of the 9600 do you have? Do you have the
People, they have to go with
the version 1,
there, so.
the version 2 or 3? I think there's 3 revisions, Gray. Which one have you got?
Yeah, I just listen around here on 310. Certainly, lots of traffic on it. A lot of times I'm just monitoring, seeing what's going on. Go back to you, Todd. Hey,
Yeah, good to hear, good to hear. I was just going to warn you
right.
that there was issues with the earlier ones. So, out of the people watching, you've got, there's 2 for the HD one,
Yaesu System Fusion radios. C4F have
the 380,
last year
the
I
RT3,
upgraded
someone's
to
got
General,
that.
and then the following month I upgraded to my
But has anyone got the Anytone 868? Be very surprised if no one's got that one.
intentions of using it, which I did for a short while.
So, I'm not sure if Alan Thompson is still watching. I think he's got the 868. But there's one radio here I bet everyone's got, and that is the Baofeng UV5R. Who's got the Baofeng UV5R? Excuse me. So anyone got the Baofeng UV5R? I know it. Loads of people have got this. It's good and it's bad. Yeah, oh Gray, he's got all the radios there. He's got 3 UV5Rs and Shafi's got one. the UV5R is a very good radio because it's cheap. It's cheap, it does everything. Now, as soon as I got my UV5R, I took it up on a high spot nearby, and I was picking up loads of bleed over, beeping and data from nearby industry. And the front end on these radios is very poor. They get a lot of bleed over and data noises. Now, this was my first ever ham radio. Can anyone identify that? Yeah, Jeff's got the UV5R, I believe. Has anyone got this radio? Oh, Jeff's got one as well. But what is the model number? UVD1P, correct. Now, not sure where everyone is located. Perhaps you'll say in the comments, but in the UK, this cost me, the UV5R cost me £19, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic price, brilliant value. It's a bit awkward to program. Oh, Jeff's in Peterborough. I'm in Kettering, Jeff. This radio, the Wouxun UVD1P, in its day that cost £70. Yeah, Jeff got his for £19. Shaf is in India. Now this one, the Wouxun, like I say, this cost me £70. And the difference on receive is incredible. When I take it out on a high spot, the UV5R, like I say, gets a lot of noise, a lot of bleed over. Yeah, Ireland, India, not sure where everyone else is. Jeff's in Peterborough. The Wouxun UVD1P has got, you know, for just a little bit more money, the filtering on it is fantastic. The front end, I can hear things on the Wouxun that I can't hear on the UV5R. Yeah, Gray's in Australia. Anyone else? Anyone in America? Anyone in America watching? So if I was starting out, would I get the UV5R or the Wouxun UVD1P? Well, I'd get what I could afford, and at the time this was all I could afford, the UVD1P Wouxun. So have we got anyone watching in America? Nice to see we've got someone in Ireland. Is there anyone watching that I know, that I've spoke to? I know Alan Thompson. I'm not sure if he's still there. But any of my stations on there that I speak to? Anyone I've spoke to? There's Tim in Lincolnshire. Now that's interesting. We've got two people from Ireland. John, he's on there in Ireland. He's got the HD1. He's a good old boy, John. That HD1 is a cracking radio. It really, you either love it or hate it. You know, I'm not sure if if any of you guys know, but I am on the beta testing team for the Alliance HD1, and I get to see all the latest firmwares before they come out. But I'm not allowed to say anything. the HD1 came out. Yeah, Jeff loves his. The HD1 came out and it did not have DTMF on the radio. It wasn't advertised with that feature, but they've worked on it at Retevis, they've worked on it, and now it's got DTMF, so it's getting features added to it that weren't even advertised. So getting a few more comments here. Humax, he's got the HD1, the MD380. I think we've all got the MD380. RT3. Yeah, I've got a 3. They're the same, aren't they? The MD380, RT3, CS580. Now that is a really cracking radio, the CS580. The Connect Systems. I would love to get my hands on one of them. Now the CS580 is very special. Correct me if I'm wrong. That can sniff out the colour code and time slot and talk group of the DMR channel you're listening to. And the Anytone 868. Did anyone watch my video on the Anytone 868? How you can use it as a digital scanner? So if anyone didn't see that video, just go to YouTube and search for which DMR radio can you use as a digital scanner, and the Anytone 868. Yeah, Humax, he knows his stuff. Anytone 868. I did a video on it. Just do a search for that. Anytone. Which DMR radio can you use as a digital scanner? And the 868. I did a video. I reset it. I reset the radio back to default settings, and I did a sweep. I did a search past the frequency of my hotspot, and it picked it up. It picked up. It received the audio from my hotspot. It showed the color code, the slot, the talk group, everything. And I also managed to do this with things that weren't amateur radio. You know, I've no interest in listening to any of that, but I just wanted to know if it did it. It's got limitations. It doesn't do certain modes, but it did work. So I'm just going through the list. We've got 19 people listening. That's quite a good turnout. It's 11 o'clock at night in the UK and in Ireland. I think it's the same time zone. And I'm just wondering if we've got anyone listening in or watching in the USA. Not had any comments from USA. But like I was saying to Alan, I've got, on Friday, I've bought, I don't think Alan's with us anymore. Well, he's not watching, put it that way. On Friday, I bought this radio. Can anyone identify this radio? This is a scanner. It covers 0 to 1650. Yeah, Jeff recognises it as a scanner. It's a Jupiter 7100. Yeah, Michael's watching in America. KD2 NHB. in New Jersey. Thanks for watching in America. Yeah, so this is a scanner. I'll just put it up on the laptop. Excuse me. Yeah, so Humax recognises it. It's a 7100. And these things are quite hard to pick up. Now, this radio, the 7100, yeah, I've just sold a AOR 8000, and I'm going to be doing, if anyone would be interested, would anyone be interested in a video on the Jupiter 7100, the MVT 7100? I bought that, right, back in the day in 1990. Like Tim says, absolutely fantastic scanner. It goes from 0, well, not, you know, as close to 0 as it can, up to 1650 megahertz, and it covers all modes including SSB. Not with a BFO, it's proper SSB. And it's absolutely fantastic bit of kit. Sideband works a treat on it, and to this day I would say it's the best radio for SSB. Would you agree with that, Tim? And Humax knows his stuff. Haven't got Humax's name, but Humax recognises it as a 7100. Would you say it's a very good radio? And John McGennis. Yeah, I will do a full review of it. John McGennis. It's similar to an AOR 8000. It is in terms of spec, but it's better in terms of performance. Yeah, it was quite expensive. You're right, Jeff. It was, I think it was about £300. You know, to put that into context, back then, that was the equivalent of, I don't know, 2 weeks' money, 2 weeks' wages. You know, that was very expensive back then. So, I mean, I'm not going to pick, I'll just switch it on, you know, because there's a little bit of interest in this. I'm going to be doing a full review of this and see what it can pick up. But I am in an absolute terrible location for radio, so HF is very difficult. But look at the condition of this thing. Does that look in good condition for a 30-year-old radio? Yeah, Humax is he's got a friend that had the 7100. This is a cracking radio. This used to be my benchmark radio. Nothing could beat this. If something was as good as this, then I knew it was a good radio. So I'm on 40 meters. I'm on a lower sideband. I'm just in a terrible location. Be very surprised if I heard anything. But nowadays, these radios, none of these in front of me have got a dedicated volume and squelch. None of them have got volume and squelch. Not one of them. But back in the day, the Jupiter 70-100. Yeah, Humax has got an MV. I'm not very familiar with the MVT 8000. I did buy a Jupiter. It started with a 9. Was it a 9100? I did have the updated model of the Jupiter, and that was absolutely fantastic. So I'm just playing with this chat. I'm just looking at the option. Ah, it was the base station, that's right. Because I did have, was it a 5000? I did have a base station which was a 5000. So is anyone enjoying information about the MV? You know, I don't want to bore you about it, but few people are getting quite excited about that 7100. If you like the if you like hearing about scanners, the MVT 7100, then click the like button, and I'll continue talking about it. So by the way, out of all the videos I've done on YouTube, my most popular video ever, which got 50,000 views, which earned me about £45, believe it or not, was this radio. Can anyone identify that one? I've hacked it and spoilt it, but it still works. It was, you know, it was only 15 quid, so I was just experimenting with different aerials, and it's too loud, so I put some tape over the speaker. But can anyone identify that radio? I'll just prop it up there. M60DZ BF1. It's very close. I don't know if that's a different country's variation, but it's not a. It's a Baofeng, but it's not a BF1. Could you be more specific? Yeah, you've got the. It's the T1. It's the Baofeng T1. Yeah. So I did a video on the Baofeng T1. Is my audio okay, by the way? Because I'm sitting quite far back. The Baofeng T1 was £15, but it was spoilt by the fact it did not come with a programming cable, and you cannot program it from the radio, which is crap. Absolute garbage. Thanks, John. So it was a nice cheap radio, but you had to buy the, just put the programming cable in it, in the box, and call it 20 quid, 15, 20. Oh, 5 and 9 by John Humax there. So it was 15 quid, but it didn't come with I had to wait a month to get the flipping cable. So this, has anyone got the T1? This is the Baofeng T1. And this was quite a popular video I did. I think it was because it was new. Yeah, I'm a ham, by the way. It's 2E0UKH. Chris in the UK. Yeah, M60DZ. He's got one. He lives in the car. It's always turning itself on. That's okay. That's okay. No, anyway, M60DZ. He leaves one in the car. It's always turning itself on. That's strange. But I mean, if I was going to buy a radio, I would not buy. If I wanted to have, forget DMR for a minute. If I was getting started and I had no money, I wouldn't spend £15 on this. It's good and it's nice. It works. I've got an All-Star node in my house. It's a little repeater, and I can go out on All-Star Echo Link from a little repeater that I've built. But I use this to go into it because it doesn't require much it doesn't have to have a good receiver. It's nice and cheap, it's small, and it works. But I prefer to go into my All-Star node using my Baofeng. I mean, I have got it set up. Let's just see. Yes, I'm active on DMR. 2E0UKH is the call sign. Just remind me where you are there, Hugh Max. I think you're Ireland, are you? So that's my frequency of my hotspot. Top one. Turn the volume up. So I am connected to my All-Star repeater. Got a repeater in the house. It's a simplex gateway, but it's the same thing, but it's locked down for my use. 2E0UKH, just doing a demo call on the UV5R on All-Star. Ireland. So there's no one on the repeater I'm connected to. So just looking, we've got 17 people watching. We've got 6 likes, which is very good. If we could have a few more likes, that would be nice. Mostly on local repeaters. And so out of all these radios and scanners, you can comment on scanners if you're not a ham. Which, it's hard to display them all, so they're all on the screen. Which, out of 18 possible votes now, which is your favourite radio? Doesn't matter if it's a scanner. What is your favourite radio? Let's add up the votes. Humax, you need to get a hotspot. And then you don't have to worry about being near a repeater. You need to get yourself a hotspot. So Jeff's favourite radio is the Alliance. Tim, he's loving this 7100. Martin's got the Anytone. So we've got a few people in here watching the channel that have got the Anytone 868. So, and Shafi in India, he's watching. He's got the HD1. Gray, forgot about Gray. He hasn't commented for a while. He's got the HD. He's got a load of radios, but he's got the HD1. Anytone. So we got at least 3 Anytone users. It doesn't matter if it's Anytone 868 or Anytone 878 or even the clones of it. Oh, I think we got 4 868. That's amazing. I did ask earlier and no one had an 868, so just shows how things change. just need to get a Jeff just needs to get a hotspot. Just got no computer. Well, if Jeff has got no computer, he has got the perfect radio, because the Alienz HD1 does not need a computer. You can program it completely from the radio, and that is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, Humax, you need to get your license. Yeah, get that sorted, mate. You know, you won't look back. You know, and you can enjoy all your privileges of getting your license and getting on the air. Right, so I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to get a little top up. Yeah, John McGinnis, you definitely got it, man. Right, back in a minute. I'm just going to get a top up. So I'm going to be talking about the Anytone 868 in a minute. And I'm going to be asking you, what don't you like about the Anytone 868? Because I know there's very little. So I'll be very interested to hear if you agree with me on the things I don't like about it. So back in a minute. You've got a minute or two to come up with some ideas what you don't like about the Anytone 868. Right, just got a little top up. Just got a little drink there. By the way, I do run several Facebook groups. M6ODZ. He can't think of anything he doesn't like about the 868. Yeah, it is a great... Well, I've got, you know, I've had it for 6 months now, so I've got a few ideas. And by the way, I've got a few. Beer or coffee, Chris? Well, what do you reckon this is? Look. What do you reckon this is? So, what was I going to say? Anytone 868. What do we think about the Anytone 868? What don't we like about the Anytone 868? Well, I've had mine for 6 months, and I'll tell you what I don't like about the Anytone 868. And it is nitpicking, really, because there's not a lot. Flavoured water, yeah, you've nailed it, yeah, because I'm a ham, I'm not allowed to have a drink. You've got it. Anytone 868. Look at these smooth buttons. You know, you turn the volume up, you click in the channel knob, and there's no grip. It's really poor. There's no, you know, if it's a hot day and your hands are sweaty, you know, you'll just slip past turning the volume or the squelch up. Has anyone else noticed that? All of these other radios in front of me have got a grip on the volume and the squelch. Look at this, look. The RT3S, the HD1, even 30 years ago, the Jupiter 7100 has got grips on there. Even the cheapo MD380. So look, it's smooth. So that, I think that was a bit of an oversight. It's not a big issue, but John McGuinness. Too many messages, warning. What, on YouTube? Not sure what you mean. But Christoph has just commented, 2 meter receiver is not so sensitive. Right. What radio are you talking about, Christoph? Are you talking about the Anytone 868? Yeah, that's a very good point. And do you know why, Christoph? Do you know why it's not? John, sorry, I'm not sure what's going on. John's on about admin advised me to take a break from posting. What, on this YouTube channel? Or do you mean something else? Because you can post as much as you want on this YouTube channel. It's not an issue. Right, so let's just go back to some comments. Christoph was on about 2 meter receive is not too sensitive. Yeah, John, I run this channel. You can speak. You can put as many comments as you want. It's not an issue. I did get a thing come up on the screen. Someone said this is radio porn, and I got a warning come up. So I'm not sure if that's anything to do with it. I can't remember who that was. I think it was Martin. Or Tim, sorry, Tim, on about radio porn, and it flagged up with a message, but that's all I can think of. So you can post as much as you want. I'd like people to post, or there's nothing to talk about. So Christoph was on about 2 meter receive is not so sensitive. Well, the aerial that comes with John, that was John, sorry. Was it John about the radio porn? I'm getting confused here. So Christoph was saying 2 meter receive is not so sensitive. Well, with the aerial that comes with it, it's not going to be very good because the aerial is tiny. You need something decent. You need something like this. This is, can you see where I'm looking? You need something like it's on the Wouxun. It's a Nagoya 771. It's an aerial that is very good on 2 and 70, and it has a tiny bit of gain. And yeah, I've got a Diamond 7. I've got a Diamond 991. Got loads of aerials, rubber ducks. But I think, for a start, the Anytone 868 is a bit deaf because it's a direct conversion radio. So in the back in the day, we had super heterodyne, and the radios in front of me, which radios here are super heterodyne, which have got the better method of receiving. Yeah, well, you might overload it, Christoph, if you're using it with an X30 on the roof. So looking at these radios in front of me, which have got the super heterodyne, that's the very old method of receive technology. No, M60DZ. HD1 is super heterodyne. So the ones on the right, the ones I put on the right are super heterodyne. Anytone 868, what's that? Is that super heterodyne, SH? Or is it direct conversion, DC? You know, I'm abbreviating it. Yeah. Yeah, Martin's going. Thanks for watching, Martin. So, Anytone 868 is direct conversion. We'll abbreviate that. Just type SC for SH for super heterodyne, or DC for direct conversion. MD380. Right, MD380. Is the MD380 the super heterodyne, or is it direct conversion? Dan is watching 2 Mike 0 X-ray Delta X-ray Echo, sorry. HD1 is direct conversion. Yeah, well done, Danny. Very good point. I know Ben at Radiosification. So, direct conversion. We've got the Alliance HD1 and the NE. I know all these because I've looked into them, but I'm just doing it for entertainment value. You know, got to talk about Summit. So, out of these other radios on the table, MD380. So what is the MD380? When I say MD380, I mean RT3. They're both the same radio. So these two, both these RT3s, both these MD380s are a super heterodyne. This is super heterodyne. Jupiter 7100. Yeah, Timothy's right. MD380 is super heterodyne. So the cheapest radio, yeah, 380 is super heterodyne. It's got a better receiver. So this one, the UV5R, what is that? The cheapest radio in the world. You know, a shitty radio, cheapo radio. What is that? The UV5R. Is it super heterodyne or direct conversion? So put your guesses in the comments. Is it super heterodyne, which is better receive, or is it direct conversion, which is not so good? But there's good and bad of both. I've seen good direct conversion and I've seen good super heterodyne. So what do we think to the UV5R? Timothy's put one guess in there. Not sure where you are, Timothy. Thanks for commenting. So Timothy is saying super heterodyne. So Timothy is in Tuskegee, Al. What's Al? Is that America? Is that... Not familiar. I've never heard of that. Is it Alabama? I'm not sure. Alabama. Okay, yeah, thanks, Timothy. Yeah, just guessing. So, it may surprise you, but the MD380, sorry, the RT, the UV, I'm getting so confused, got so many radios here. The UV5R is super heterodyne. So it's the cheapest radio out there. It's absolute pennies, but it's super heterodyne. So to put all these radios in two lines, I'm not sure about that one. I'll put that to one side. So super heterodyne, we've got the Wouxun UVD1P. Behind it we've got the UV5R, MD380, and we've got the Retavis RT3S. That is direct conversion. I put it in the wrong line. A 30-year-old scanner. Is anyone still interested in hearing about the scanner? That scanner. Yes, all the Chinese radios are direct conversion, you're right. So the scanner, the MVT 7100, that's super heterodyne. So that's the list. Well, that's the two lines. So I'm just going to put them all back now. Put the camera. Is the video feed okay? Because I'm just doing it from my phone. Can anyone guess what phone I'm using? Because it's nothing expensive. So I'm just positioning these back on the shelf with my three favourites at the front. Hey, don't break that. And funnily enough, all these radios are very resilient, aren't they? Very tough. I don't know what the Baofeng T1 is. Yeah, the feed's good, thanks Jeff. What are Hytera radios? Okay, what can you be more specific, Timothy? It's not a Samsung. I'll give you a clue, Tim. This camera, this phone, has got 8 GB of RAM. So Timothy, you've got to give me a model number. If I don't know, I'll say I don't know. If I know, I'll tell you what it is. So this is what my next video is going to be about. Can anyone, I know if anyone's commented earlier, yeah, I don't know the 626 model, Timothy. Not sure what that is, 626. And if anyone knows, don't comment on this, but you know, if anyone's already commented, that's what I mean. But the Jupiter 7100, this is a fantastic scanner. This covers 0 to 1650, and it's got proper sideband. This is direct conversion, and that's on 40 meters. I'd love to get you guys some audio, but it's just not possible in this crappy flat where I'm living. I get very, very high noise. So John McGennis M0 AOV. Nice setup on the rigs. Just got on QRZ from EI2EBB. Yeah, thanks for commenting, John. I'm 2E0UKH, and you'll hear me on DMR. Quite often on DMR. Because when you're in a block of flats, you know, I'll be calling out for ages on analog and no one can hear me. You know, I can't hear I can't hear anything back, so it does your head in, so it makes you go over to digital. Now, that's a shame, I don't have it. Does anyone use the Peanut app? Yeah, the MVT 7000 did not do SSB, but it was fun listening to 47 megs cordless phones, not that I'd know. So, does anyone use the Peanut app? Yeah, I'm using Hotspot. I'm using a Hotspot. I've got a DV Mega. I've got two DV Megas. One's got a screen on it. The next on screen. It's an MMDVM. Would anyone like to see the hotspots I'm running under the table? So I've got two hotspots underneath the table. Would anyone like to see the hotspots I'm running? Okay, well I've actually got three hotspots. OpenSpot 2 Timothy is extortionate, very expensive. It's good, but you can do better with you can do cheaper. So I'm going to show you the hotspots I'm using, and I'm going to tell you what hotspots I've had in the past. So on DStart in the past I had a DVAP, I had a blue one, and then I got the red one, and then I went to a DV Mega. Now the DV Mega is very good because you can do firmware upgrades on them. Even though it's been out 5 years, it's still one of the best hotspots you can have. A DV Mega, sit it on top of a Raspberry Pi running Pi-Star. So in the car I've got a jumbo spot, a little cheap 30 quid, probably $50 jumbo spot. But I do think the OpenSpot is very expensive. It's very overrated. So I'm going to show you what hotspots I'm using. Both of these are on Raspberry Pis. I've got, where is it? I've got there. So can you guys still hear me? I'm just talking. I'm about nearly a metre away from the radio. From the microphone, sorry. So on the left I've got the, yeah, audio's okay. Yeah, I'm just down on underneath the table. So on the left I've got an MMDVM with a screen on it, all 5 and 9. So I've got a MMDVM on the left, which is just a Raspberry Pi with a DV Mega on top, with a Nextion screen, and on the right I've got an experimental hotspot. It's just a Raspberry Pi 2 with a DV Mega on top, and I'm using that for YSF. So I'm just going to put the camera back up here. So Martin Lawrence, hi Chris, really enjoying watching your videos. Have an 868, greetings from Australia. Yeah, so thanks for that, Marty, thanks for the comments. Now on my YouTube channel, it's quite interesting because it shows me behind the scenes on a YouTube channel. It shows you where. Yeah, go ahead and buy a jumbo spot, Christoph. They're very good. You cannot fault them. For the money, they're brilliant. You know, the ethics of it, I'm not sure, but for the price, you can't go wrong. So I was just saying, behind the scenes on a YouTube channel, I can see where people are watching from, and I've got what is the number one country people are interested in my channel, which is, at the moment, it's about DMR. So what do you think the top country is for DMR? For talking about analog, DMR and FM. And by the way, no one has guessed my phone I'm using. I'm using a phone which has got 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, Snapdragon 845. So M6ODZ, he said USA for the top country. Germany? No, Christoph said Germany. I can't even see Germany on my list. So S9? No, half the price of the S9, but I've got 8 gigs of RAM, Jeff. So John McGinnis, USA, correct, number 1. UK, number 2, correct. Number 3, Ireland. Christoph is correct. Number 3, very close, radios vacation, Ben. So, what is number 3? This is quite surprising. Number 3 is the Philippines. Of all places, why would anyone... I've never even spoke to anyone in the Philippines. So I was I was really surprised about that. So Hungary, no, I've never spoke to anyone in Hungary. So this phone I'm speaking on, yeah, Philippines. It's unbelievable. It's really surprising. I mean, while I'm speaking to you guys, just having a bit of fun here. Got 26 people watching. I mean, that's quite good. I'm just a bit shaky video. Just pointing it at the PC. Using my OnePlus One since first day. Well, this is the 6T. So, this thing is flipping rapid. Hi, Tony. Tori, sorry. So I'm just pointing it at the screen. Now, at the moment, this is a live feed, and I'm looking at my own live feed so I can see the comments. Gary Evans, hi Gary. Is that the Gary Evans I know, or is it the other Gary Evans that I saw on DMR earlier on TAC 310? But anyway, I can't see comments, but I'm just going to go over to the the YouTube Studio Beta, which shows the analytics. I'm going to come back to the comments in a minute. Analytics. So I'm just pointing it at the PC at the moment, so just forgive my crappy video quality. So these are the most popular videos. Peanut, First Test, D-Start 8.7 thousand, Anytone 868, 8,000. Which DMR radio can you use as a digital scanner? But what I'm looking for is the countries, because it's quite interesting to see where people are watching you. You know, I'm struggling here. It's weird because I can do it on the phone I'm on, but I can't, that I'm filming it on, but I can't actually show you that. Ad types, most popular, skippable. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Oh dear. Anyway, I can't find it, so I'm just going to go back to my YouTube channel and go back to the live video, and then I'll pick up on the comments. So sorry about that. I was just trying to show you an honest thing of where people are watching me from. So I'm just going through my comments. So radios vacation, you said OnePlus 6. That was very close. Have you got the OnePlus? You know, you sound like you... There's not many people know about the OnePlus. This is the OnePlus 6T. This is the OnePlus 6T. So this is Snapdragon 845. Gary Evans said, hi all. Yes, it's me, mate. Yeah, that's my friend Gary. Hugh Max said, if we have suggestions for HD1, yeah, you can forward your suggestions for the HD1 onto me. I'll be deleting this live. I very occasionally put live video streams up, so I don't like them to stay up because, you know, they're sloppy, you know, they're impromptu, they're not planned, you know, they're not good quality, so I delete them afterwards. It's just a bit of fun, and I take them down afterwards because I try to put. I'm not very good at video editing. I try to put decent quality stuff up, so I take them down. Right, just going through my comments because I'm a little bit behind. So Hugh Max, yeah, if you've got any suggestions for the HD1, you're welcome to forward them to me at my call sign 2E0UKH. That's 2E0 UKH at gmail.com. I'm on the beta testing team for the HD1, and just so you guys know, there's a mobile version of the HD1 being designed, and it's in very early stages. It's called the HM1, and they are asking us for our opinions. And the Aliense HM1, which is the mobile version of the HD1, is going to have a detachable front head unit. Like I say, I am in the beta test team for the HD1, and they're just asking about hardware, about the screen and button positions and that's just coming out. So it's in the early design stage. So just need a few more comments on the screen if anyone wants to hear anything. M6ODZ, where are we getting the jumbo spots then? Fleabay. Yes, I found the best way to get the jumbo spot is to search for MMDVM. Mike Delta Victor Mike. MMDVM. And it comes up with tons of they're little oblong boards. It's not square. It's not like a DV Mega. It's just a circuit board. So Brian Badon, try Tuesday evening network 27125. Humax, okay, thanks. So Doug, I didn't know Doug was watching. You can get jumbo spots, plug and play, ready from W4ZE. Now, if you know nothing about setting up a hotspot, a ready built hotspot is a good option if you're not computer literate. Yeah, thanks Gary, much appreciated for the comments there. Just having a bit of fun here talking about DMR. I have seen you on DMR a few times. I thought I saw you on today, but it was another. You've got a imposter. I saw another Gary Evans from America, so watch out for him. I'm just joking, you know, he's got a different call sign, but that's why I asked earlier. So just going through a few things. So the jumbo spot, I would recommend searching for MMDVM on eBay, and you can get one in the UK for £35. If it's got a screen on it, it might be a fraction more, but they're really good. It's not as good as a DV Mega. That is the very best. They come up with an update for the audio codec for DMR, and it's just top notch. It's just absolutely superb. Right, so Gary Evans, off topic. Hope you have a nice Christmas. Yeah, thank you very much. Same to you. Be nice to see you at the club sometime. Radios vacation. What DMR network do you use? Well, that's a good question. I use Brandmeister for my main hotspot, and I do use Phoenix on a secondary hotspot, which is experimental. Got the location this way is Kettering, Northamptonshire, near Northampton, and without using a hotspot, I can use my local repeater is on Brandmeister, that's GB7KE in Kettering, and I've got one in Northampton which is Phoenix. I've got one in Skeffington which I think is Phoenix, and Leicester as well. So just going through some comments. Doug, even set up your Wi-Fi. Not sure what that means. By the way, my hotspot is on the Wi-Fi, if that's what you mean. Jeff Ives, yep, that's me. No good on computer. That's okay. Well, you need a HD1, and that's the best radio if you don't have a computer. So Doug's Brat, I don't know what that means. TGIF. I know what a GIF is. TGIF, not sure about that. Is that the DV Mega you have under the desk? Yes. Yes. The DV Mega I have under the desk is... I've got two DV Megas, both on Raspberry Pis. One's got a screen on, one hasn't. And would anyone like to know about the DVM with the screen on it? Just back in a second, just going to the other room. Would anyone like to know more about the hotspots and the one with the screen on it? It's an DVM. They're both running Pi-Star. They're both really cheap and easy to set up. So back in a moment, just going to the other room. Would anyone like to know about the hotspots? Right, so just coming back into the room, you can see my shadow just going over the radios. So is there any interest in the hotspots? I'm just reading the comments. Is that the DV Mega M60DZ? Yeah, they're both DV Megas. One's got a screen on it. Both on Pis. Yeah, it's a good screen. It's a good screen. Doug said TGIF network for DMR is the latest server. Is that a DMR master server? Not sure what you mean. Danny said never had luck with much luck with Phoenix. Yeah, I've not found a lot of activity on Phoenix. Anything DMR, anyone trying DMR is worth, looking into. But I've found the same. I think Radiosification, he's on his local repeater is Phoenix. He might want to comment. Never had much luck. M0 AOV. £55 from Fleabay. Very easy to set up. Yeah. And loads cheaper than DV Mega. It is cheaper, but it's not as good. The DV Mega has got the very best audio quality. But you probably wouldn't notice it, but I can notice it because I've got one. And for the very best quality, I have my DV Mega on top of a Pi with a screen, and I have an Ethernet cable, so I have the very best quality of audio. So Timothy said, can the Jumbo Spot cross mode from DMR to C4 FM? Yes, Timothy, that's a very good question. And I'm just going to get my other phone. There's a very good video I made I want you to see. I'm just going to get my other phone. Right, so I just got my other phone. I'm recording this on my OnePlus 6T, and I'm trying to keep it as good quality as I can. I mean, I will delete this whole feed, so I'm not too bothered about it. Right, going to my YouTube channel. Right, so what I'm trying to show you guys is using a DMR radio but speaking to people on the Yaesu system without investing in a radio, without
Great tasting Capri Sun Original. Now with 50%
I'm just playing it on another device. Hold on, I'm just going to show you the video I'm going to recommend. So that's the video I wanted to show you using Yaesu YSF on DMR Pi-Star. So make a note of that. If you just search for using Yaesu YSF on DMR, you'll find it. And with that video, you will see I used an MD380 going through my hotspot, which happens to be a DV Mega. It could have been a jumbo spot. It doesn't matter. But as long as it's one that's capable of running Pi-Star, you can speak to people on DMR, on a DMR radio, but the people you're speaking to are on Yaesu Fusion. So just going through the comments. So DMR to C4 FM, that was for Doug. Radiosification. So Ben said Phoenix has been quiet lately, but there used to be a lot of activity, still busy enough to get a reply. Yeah, so I don't know a huge amount on Phoenix. I'm not knocking it. I think it's very good. Nando's watching me. Thanks, man, for watching. This is very late for you in Italy. So radiosification. So I don't know much about Phoenix, but I have gathered that the best talk group to use for Phoenix is 235, which you mentioned, and the second busiest talk group, is it 810? Not sure which one it is, but that, because I've got the Anytone 868, I've got the code plug from Moonraker, and it's got like 10,000, I'm exaggerating, it's got thousands of talk groups in it, far too many, and I narrowed it down, and I just wanted a few for Phoenix. So Ben is saying 810 is a regional talk group, pretty good. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I was thinking. 235 and 810, and you can use the Phoenix on your hotspot using Pi-Star. You just have to go in and alter a few settings. That might be an idea for another video. So just going through some comments. M0AOV has got 2 DV Megas, same as me, and 3 MMDVMs. MMDVM is better, but everyone's different. You buy what's good for you. Well, an MMDVM is a hotspot. An MMDVM is a hotspot, so it's a bit, you're being a bit general there. The hotspots I've got 2 DV Megas running Pi-Star. One's got a screen on, both on Raspberry Pis too. Timothy, got it, thanks, not sure what that means. Nando's watching, I just said that earlier, just going through the list. Radiosification 810 is a regional talk group, pretty good. Yeah, I've had good results on there. Radiosification 2351 link to CQ UK, which is usually busy. So 2351 on Phoenix, that's a talk group. Excuse me, that's a talk group. And 2351 is the same as we've got on Brandmeister, but they the same countries on different systems share the same talk groups. So Doug's just saying update Pi-Star, look at server list, and the new server list is growing fast, so that's good information. So I was just thinking, right, has anyone noticed reflectors are becoming a thing of the past? If you're using reflectors on DMR, there is now, I'm talking Brandmeister, because that's where my experience is. Reflectors are disappearing. There is not an equivalent list of reflectors for existing talk groups. So for example, if you want to get on 3100, they're now not supporting talk groups. Nando in Italy, he's just saying BlueStack is very easy to use with the Blue DV app on your phone. So I'm just checking. Nando, that's my friend Nando in Italy, that I advised to get a BlueStack. So can you just confirm that? Because I'm not sure about you on YouTube. I'm not sure about your surname and the symbol for you. And then I'll talk about the BlueStack a bit and how it's good for people. So Nando, I think you're listening. Is that just checking that's Nando in Italy that I speak to on the WhatsApp. So has anyone tried DMR simplex using no internet? Getting out your house, getting away from a repeater, well, possibly trying to get into a repeater, not using the internet, and getting some actual DX contacts. Has anyone tried proper RF using DMR? So I'm going to close this stream in a few minutes if no one's commenting, as well. It's been nearly 2 hours just having a bit of fun here. If anyone wants to put any comments in there to keep the chat going and keep the conversation going, because I don't want it to go on and boring. But I'm enjoying it, talking to people. I haven't had one negative comment. So if you want to keep the video going, just put a comment in there with a suggestion. So I know Ben's very experienced on the radio. Radio's vacation. Humax is heading off. Thanks for the live stream and chat. Yeah. Thanks for watching. You can always contact me at 2e0ukh@gmail.com. Doug, he uses a simplex at Hamfest with buddies. Very good. Danny, no, simplex DMR contacts here. Now, let me just explain. What I meant was going out with a radio and not using the internet. Not relying on a radio and a hotspot just going out with a radio. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm just trying to move the camera. I'm not sure. Let me just check the battery on this camera. Oh God, it's very low. Just going to get the charging cable. Hold on. I'm in the red. So I'm just plugging the USB in on my computer. And I'm just plugging in the charger. So just stand by. By the way, this OnePlus 6T charges in about 30 minutes. I can get to 50% power. It's absolutely incredible. Hold on a minute, checking it is charging. Just going to turn the brightness down because I'm struggling on this. If it disappears, it's because my camera's gone dead. Should be okay, it's on 13%. Right, where was I? So Danny, he's not done any simplex DMR. Radiosification. Do people always hold long QSOs on Brandmeister UK wide talk groups? Yes, they do. I thought it was meant to be a call-in channel, but I just turned onto it and they have... Well, 5 minutes is small. 5 minutes is small. I mean, if you can gauge that people are... if there's not much activity, if you listen for 10 minutes and there's not a call, you know you can have a 5-10 minute call. But if you hear like 10-20 people calling, you know to keep it quiet, and you'd move it off to one of the chat channels. M6ODZ, he uses GB7MR and HMDMR. Luckily enough, not to be... I mean, if you've got your own hotspot, you're not tying it up. So Dan is saying no one lives close enough for that here. Humax is going 7.3 Humax. Danny's just telling radiosification something. Brandmeister UK doesn't have a call-in channel as such. Well, 2350 is the call-in, but yeah, they do ask you to be sensible about the right. Ben was on about radiosification. No, Chris, I meant 5 minutes holding the press to talk. I've never done that, so I don't know. Not when programming up all these radios I've got in front of me. I think the longest is about 555 seconds. Not sure how many minutes that is. So I can't comment on that. Nando. So Nando Marasi. I also own a 7100, very old. Keypad dirty, yeah. I'm just checking, is that the Nando that I speak to on WhatsApp? Because I'd be fascinated to know if that is the same person. Not sure if it is, but you know, I've just bought this Jupiter 7100. Now look, this is a... Yes, it's my friend i4 HMR. Oh, fantastic. Well, look at this, Nando. What do you think to the condition of this? This is a Jupiter 7100. Just making room for it on the table. on top of the laptop. This is a Jupiter 7100, and I am very impressed that Nando has got one. Yep, Danny's going 73 2M0 XDE. Yep, 73 Danny 2E0 UKH. Call me on 2350. I'm always on there. Always on TAC 310 or 3100. So, if I repeat things, you know, you'll have to forgive me, because we've got different people coming on here all the time. We've got people, so far we've had about 5 or 6 from the UK, we've had some from Ireland, we've got some from Italy, we've got a few from Australia. Is anyone still watching from Australia? We've got a few in USA, and you know, I had someone come in earlier from Iceland. Absolutely incredible. So at the moment we've got 16 people watching. So does anyone know, has anyone got any hands-on experience of the Jupiter 7100? Absolutely fantastic scanner. If you want, you know, I'm not meaning to, but this is, I'm pointing at the PC. This is my monitor, so I can read the chat. I can read the chat conversations and the text going on. So, so Nando, you've had the 7100. I first bought the 7100 when it first come out, when it was brand new in 1990. Was it 1990? 1999, I think it was. Did you get yours in 1999? You know, for SSB, it's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to wind this up. You know, this has been 2 hours. I'm just having a bit of fun here, doing a bit of live streaming. So if anyone would like to keep the conversation going, go ahead, put some comments in the description, in the comments, and we'll continue. Otherwise I'll cancel it. So so starting on the right, I've got the Jupiter 7100, which is a scanner, and this phone is on 12%. It's not charging very well. M60DZ is going. Yeah, it's getting late, isn't it? It's half midnight. Ben said, do you have any Fusion stuff? No, I did buy a HRI 200, the Wires X hardware box, and I did not like it because I had to have the 857 with the 9600 baud rate running at the same time. I had to have the PC on, and it was a total pain in the arse, because all my hotspots I want to run here are like this. I've got 2 DV Megas running on Raspberry Pis, and I've got another Raspberry Pi running on an All-Star node. And I don't want to tie up a computer. I don't want to tie up a £600 857. I just want them running in the background, and then when I want to use the radio, you know, I want to walk around the house with a handheld if I had to switch on the hotspot first, you know, I wouldn't use it. So something running that I know is running in the background, absolutely brilliant. Right, Nando, I don't remember, but it was 90s. Yeah, 7100. Yep, 7100. The Jupiter 7100. What a fantastic scanner. It was the first one that picked up sideband properly. I've just sold one of my AOR 8000s, and the receive was not, it was not up to the benchmark of the 7100. Nando, he's just said he doesn't remember. It was definitely 90s. Yeah, I think it was 99 I bought mine. Jeff, he's loving the feed. M3JGI. Yeah. If anyone's got any comments that want to go on after this live video, send me an email to 2e0ukh@gmail.com. Is the audio okay still? Because my internet bandwidth is not huge. I'm just checking my battery, just swiping down. That's amazing, 10%. Yeah, thanks Radiosification. Jeff Ives, loving the feed. Nando, 7100 was a very good scanner. I love it, but not programmable with PC. Very true. Well, that is the nature of scanners from years gone by, isn't it? You know, if you got a tap on the shoulder, you know, you were listening to something you shouldn't have been listening to. You got a tap on the shoulder, the old bill or something like that, you would press the reset button and you'd have to start from the scratch. But it's not so much of a problem, because in the UK there is not much to listen to on a scanner. Would you guys agree with me? There's not much to listen to, is there? It's good as a HF receiver. Everything has gone digital. You'll get the odd boring taxi. But if any of you guys remember, in the 90s, there used to be some incredible stuff to listen to in the 900s. Let's just leave it there. Radiosification, audio is fine. So if anyone would like to see any stuff like this in the future, let me know. Because at best we've had about 26, 30 people watching at any time. So that, you know, the figures doesn't bother me. If it's 30 people or 300 or 3,000, it doesn't matter. I'm enjoying myself talking about radio, having a bit of fun. So Nando, Retevis RT52 review. Well, I do not have an RT52. I've got the RT3, I've got the RT84, I've got the RT3S, and if I asked Retevis, they would send me the RT52, but I don't like, you know, this is not a huge channel. This is not a huge channel. Surprisingly, I've only got less than 2,000 subscribers. In total, it's close to 500,000 views. So I'm very pleased with the views I've had, but I don't like to push my luck. And probably once every 6 months I'll ask Retevis if they've got any new stuff to review. because I've got a couple of good contacts with Retovis. So if anyone would like to contact Retovis and say, I'd like to see a review, you know, send Chris the stuff, 2E0UKH, it's fine. But RT52, I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that is. So I'll have to look into that. Just checking my battery. 8%, so it's going to go in about 10-20 minutes. But anyway, I'm going to close the feed. You know, I've just been going for 2 hours here. I've totally enjoyed it. And I've got 9 people listening, watching, sorry. So I mean, it is half 12 here, half 1 in Italy. So I'm going to close the feed unless anyone else has got any comments. And Nando, very late, I quit. Yeah, ciao. Ciao Nando, 73 2E0UKH. So I'm just going to show you some of the equipment I'm using here, in case we get any other comments. Just to encourage anyone to speak about stuff or talk about our hobby. That's my hobby. We've got the ICOM 7100 there. Got the ICOM 7300. Jupiter 7100. In the background there we've got the Yaesu D-Star. I got the Wouxun UVD1P, the Baofeng UV5R, got the Alliance HD1, which I know Ben's got, the Anytone 868. I don't think Ben's got that. Now, these 2 radios, actually these 3, look at the one on the left. The one on the left, the Retovis, I've got mixed up, it's this one. The Retovis RT3S is the cheapest best value radio. Good features. Alliance HD1, the most flexible radio, and the Anytone 868 is the nicest design. So all these radios, these are my favourite 3. These are my favourite 3, and I'm talking about radios that are affordable, not Motorola's or flipping Hi-Tierras or a dual band DMR radio does not need to cost more than £150 in the UK. So if you haven't got much money and you want a dual band, the best you can for £100, get the Retovis RT3S. If you don't have a computer and you want the most flexible radio, good VFO, and you can program from the VFO to a channel, get the Alliance HD1. And if you want the best design, nice and small, not too expensive, get the Anytone 868. Absolutely cracking radio. Right, so just going through the comments. Nando's gone. Ben said, ever do D-Star on your hotspot? Yeah, I do D-Star. I've got an individual hotspot set up for D-Star, and it works pretty well. It's experimental. You're right, Chris, I don't have the 868. I'll tell you why you don't have the 868, because I'm on 5% battery. Oh, by the way, I've got to wind this up very quickly. 868. It's either because you've not bought it or because they've not sent you it. Anytone do not communicate with the customer. End of story. I'm sure you'd love to have an 868. You're like me, you've got too many radios, you're not going to buy one because you've got too many. But it is on a par with the HD. I really can't decide which is the best one, HD1 or 868. I think Anytone stole the design from Hytera. Yeah, I don't know anything about the PD8785. Anyway, I'm just checking my battery very carefully. I've totally enjoyed this live feed. I'm on 5%. If anyone's got any other comments, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll be closing this feed in 5 minutes. I'll be deleting this video because it's a bit sloppy, you know. It's just an impromptu thing. Wouldn't buy it. Radiosification. I have plenty of DMR radios, yeah, just like me. Wouldn't buy it, but if they offered, yeah, you wouldn't refuse. I've got about 7 radios for DMR, and my favourite 2 are the HD1 and the 868, 4% battery. So the RT3S is in 3rd place, but that's a cheaper one. It's £40 cheaper. You know, that's a lot. The two radios that go that you can type in a talk group are the 380 on the HAT firmware and the Anytone 868. You go to manual dial, you can go to press the hash button, change it to group call, type in the number, and you're on the channel. More, hello. Is that Peter Moore? Not sure. Peter Moore's. But my battery is very low on this phone. I'm trying to get it charged up. RT84. Oh, I've got an RT84. I'm just worried about this battery going low. I'm just trying to work out a way of charging it. I've just lent my son my charger. This is difficult. Anyway, I'm going to close the feed soon because it's getting close to 1 o'clock. So RT84, any thoughts? Well, I've done a review of the RT84. The RT84, I've got one. Let me just go and get it. This is an RT84. It's a flipping fantastic, cheap radio that does DMR, dual band. It doesn't do any call signs, no DMR database, but it's about £68 in the UK. So I'd highly recommend that. RT84. If you're on a budget and you want a dual band radio, it's fantastic. Doesn't do the call signs. Anyway, I'm going to say 7.3. Michael, I'll be on TAC 310 in a minute. Just checking my battery, but I'm getting paranoid about that because I'm less than 5%. You know, this is one of them videos I'm not bothered about views. I'm on 3%, so it could go at any time. So I will be on TAC. If anyone would like to speak to me, I'll be on TAC 310 in about 5 minutes. After the show ends, I'll be on TAC 310. Yes, I watched your RT84. The RT84 is a fantastic radio if you want a dual band, dead cheap radio. Absolute bargain. Timothy's saying HD1, great radio. Couldn't agree more. My two best radios are the HD1 and the Anytone 868. So I'm just new to this live streaming, and I'm going to be signing off soon. So, two questions. Would people like to see more live streams? Because I'm just having a bit of fun here, just pissing about, just having a bit of fun. I'm enjoying this, passing a bit of time. Would people like to see more live streams, and would people like to see more DMR stuff? Yep. Just going to the other room. I need to go in the other room. I'll be back in a minute. So thanks for putting your comments in there. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Ben, but have you tried Brandmeister? Because I know you're on Phoenix, and there's not a lot of activity on there. More scanner reviews yet? Well, you know I've got the UBC 125. That works well. No, Ben, you need to try Brandmeister. You really do. I can switch my radio on at any time on Brandmeister, and there'll be someone talking from anywhere in the world. You know, I'm a huge follower of your channel, Ben, but you don't have a I don't think you have a hotspot. You need to get on Brandmeister. You know, for £30 or £50, you can get yourself a hotspot, and you've got 24 hours a day, you know, contacts. It's just absolutely brilliant. Right, my battery's going to go dead soon. What hotspot have you got? Just check in, Ben. Jumbo spot, very good. Right, my battery's about to go dead. I'm just going to put this on charge. Hold on. I'm not working tomorrow, so I'm not in any hurry to get off the air, but I don't want to bore anyone to death. I'm just going to stand by a minute. I'm just going to put I'm on 1% or 2% on my phone on the OnePlus 6T. So just bear with me. Just bear with me. I know it's not very good.
Very, very much, Barry. This is W80KWI in St. Louis. Yeah, all right, running at an Anytone, the new
So,
878UE.
just bear with me. I'm just going into the other room. I'll be back in a minute. Just charging the radio up for a minute.
Which I use for the wife, and she liked that very much. But the 878's the newer one we just got for Christmas, so we got that all fired up and ready to go here. And running the BI7J ATJ, the BI7 ATJ duplexer Subo spot with the home Wi-Fi system at the home here.
And when we go mobile, we use the same duplexing system with a freedom spot for the repeater in the car. So it works out very well. And we do have one repeater here in St. Louis that's pretty close. We could be using that, but sometimes it's just easier with all my driving around I do during the daytime to use my own my own repeater in the car, if you know what I mean. But your rig sounds wonderful. You have great audio, crystal clear. It sounds like talking to you on 20 meter sideband. Go ahead, Barry. Yeah, very good. Thank you, Richard. VK3MBW returning Whiskey Alpha 0KWY. VK3MBW.
Right, so just coming back to the radio. I keep calling it a radio, but coming back to the phone.
Radio sounding wonderful. I haven't had the jumbo spot in the mobile yet.
Yeah, you want to get that in the mobile, mate. Works brilliant. Right, just looking at the comments.
With the way the conditions are at the moment, DMR is quite the way to go. 732, Richard and Matty, thank you for the call. Over. Problem, Barry. Not a problem. I understand completely, and it's like talking to you on good skin conditions.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the live stream. Just been to get some refreshment, and I'm also charging my phone. Someone's on Blue DV. Right, so Doug's on about the open spot. Also, it's on Blue DV. Yeah, Blue DV is a very good app written by David. Very good friend of mine. Is anyone using the Peanut app to speak to people on D-Star? Right, Ben. Are you on Android or iPhone? Right, Ben, get yourself on the Play Store and search for Peanut, written by David. I've done a video on it a while ago. Peanut is an app for Android, and it lets you speak to people on D-Star. If you do a search for David, PA7LIM, there's he's got a web page, and from there's a link to the Peanut app, and he's picked up on my video of the Peanut app, and it's an Android app that lets you speak to people on Reflector 1 Charlie and Reflector 30 Charlie, along with a host of other D-Star repeaters, as well as links. And unfortunately, it's only available on Android, so you can run it in an emulator using a Windows environment. So Ben, take a look at my video about Peanut, and it's about 2 or 3 videos back. I did it less than a month ago, and David picked up on my video, the developer. Just dropped my phone, hold on. Just very aware of battery life. I'm only on 8%. So yeah, David picked up on my video on the Peanut app, and it worked very well, and it's probably linked to about 10 or 20 D-Star reflectors or rooms, whatever you want to call them. You can also speak to people on YSF. I'm a beta tester. Is the video okay now? Could Ben just said the video froze. I did knock my phone over, so can anyone I'm just wiping down. For Ben, it's frozen. Can anyone else confirm the video's okay? Because my battery is low. I'm charging by the bedside unit. Could be Ben's internet. Okay, it's better now. So anyway, get yourself the Peanut app. So, Ben, do you have a D-Star? Are you registered for D-Star? Right, get yourself over to, you can either do it through ICOM UK, and you can register for D-Star, or there's a link on David's page. So I'm just going to go over to the computer, talking into anyway, I'm just going to go over to the computer, just giving my camera a bit of charge. Right, just bear with me. I mean, I'm happy to go on as long as anyone else is prepared to put any comments up. Just having a bit of fun here. I'm enjoying it. I hope you are. Right, just to be honest, Ben said at Radiosification, I don't see the point in talking into an app. Well, if I could talk into a radio, I would prefer that. But you've not always got a radio with you. So if you've just got your phone on you, you can speak to people on real radio. Now Timothy has just said, saw my call sign and name pop up on TAC 310 on your radio. On my radio, Timothy. I can answer your question in a minute, Ben. Radiosification. So yeah, I'm on TAC 310. You saw your call sign pop up. Now, I'm going to cut this thing short because it's going on. You know, it's been 2 hours. I'm enjoying myself. I'm going to delete it. It's not an issue. But shall we QSY? Well, I don't think Ben can because he's not got Brandmeister. Timothy, he's on his open spot. But anyway, Ben, if you need any help setting up your... I have Brandmeister on hotspot. Well, is it working? Because I know you said you got the jumbo spot. I just don't know how to get on TAC 310. Well, TAC 310 does not have a reflector. And that is one of the problems I was saying earlier. Forget reflectors, just use talk groups. So, Ben, if I said to you go to talk on Brandmeister, if I said go to talk group 2351, that's number 1, that's the first chat channel in the UK above the call-in. So if I said go to 2351, would you know how to do that? So let me just explain about that. Not every talk group has got an associated not every talk group has got an associated reflector, because reflectors are becoming a thing of the past. So just going through the comments, TAC 310, there is no reflector to get on there. You've got to program your radio for talk groups. Timothy is saying 91 worldwide and TAC 310 talk groups. He's just mentioning 2 talk groups. And radiosification, yes, just a hassle to program the talk groups in the radio. Now, Ben, have you got the MD380 with the HAT firmware handy? You know, able to get on a talk group, you know, ready to go on DMR. And does it have the HAT firmware on it? I haven't put the hotspot frequency in yet. Yeah, well, if you use the HD1, you can't. What I'm saying is, let's make this simple so you can get on there. So we can continue the conversation after the video. What Brandmeister talk group can you get on easily to continue the conversation? Because with the HD1 you can't program a talk group immediately. If you've got the MD380, you can just press the hash button twice. I'm putting the talk group in now. If I type the talk group in there, I'm in there. It just works on the MD380 and the 868. So tell me a Brandmeister talk group, Ben, and we'll carry on the conversation on there. I'm suggesting 2351 on Brandmeister. Is that okay? 2351. Look, this is an MD380. This is an RT3. It's a clone. If I press the hash button twice, 2351. Press transmit. And I'm now on there. Just got in. Are you on 2351? Yeah, well, TAC 310 is a nationwide, it's a worldwide talk group. It wouldn't, we can, if you've got no other way, we can speak on TAC 310. But are you able to go on 2351? Because that's a bit more private and it's not tying up a worldwide talk group. Yeah, I'd recommend 2351. Look, 2351 on the MD380 HAT firmware, and we can have anyone listening. We can have a chat. We can have a chat on 2351. Is that okay? So 2351. I'm going to press transmit. Give it a couple of seconds and I'm on there. Yeah, there's a net on 310. Very good point. 2351. Right, so Doug was just saying there's a net about to start on 310. I'm on 2351. So just let me know when you're on 2351, Ben. That chat means we're on there. (2E0) UKH audio check please on 2351. Radiosification trying, but 310 is still coming through. Yeah, there's no rush. That's because you can't.
Sounding good, Chris.
That's because you can't disconnect. Try the 4000 command. Yeah, thanks, Doug. Thanks for coming back. I recognise one of the names from the group on the live YouTube stream. 2E0 UKH. Back to you, Doug.
Okay, well, man, there's an awesome delay from the radio comes in first and YouTube afterwards, but I've been having some trouble with my internet here. Seems like I've had to restart the browser a couple of times, but right now it's going.
Yeah, okay, well thanks for watching the video, just having a bit of fun. You know, it's a Saturday night, I'm not going out. And I thought, what better way to have a bit of fun on the radio? Do a live stream, delete it afterwards, I'm not bothered who's watching. And just play a bit of radio. I'm in a block of flats, I can't do HF. There's no one on analog. VHF, UHF, so your only option is digital. So back to you.
Got CDK returning. Yeah, it's kind of the same here. UHF, VHF, FM analogs, all but dead around here except on net nights. People will show up for that, and then they're.
Are you on here, Ben? Are you able to get on 2351?
We've got room for HF here, but I've kind of done that and lost big antennas and come back up. Kind of tired of putting them back up again. So that's why I really like MR for little antennas and get out anyway.
Yeah, well, it's the only way, isn't it? Timothy, just saying 10 meters is open in the States. And Ben on Radiosification, just trying to disconnect from 310. Now, Ben, if you're on your jumbo spot, I don't know how long you've had it connected, but I find it a good idea to reset it every day, or it's difficult to disconnect. I mean, I can go on 310. I can go on 310. That's not an issue. Ben, would you say 310 is quite clear at the moment? Shall we all go to 310? Is there lots of people speaking? Yeah, Ben was just saying it's very busy on 310. Yeah, I'm not surprised because they're 6 hours behind. You know, it's middle of the evening there. that's why. Yeah, that could be why he can't disconnect. It's very awkward. I'm just going to unkey and we'll carry on the chat.
Yeah, this is probably a better place to be, because it is a chat channel. And if he can't get out of there, can't find an empty spot, he can log into his Pi-Star if he's on a Pi-Star box and disconnect that way, or at least drop the call so he can put his 4,000 in and get out of it.
Yeah, well, I'll give the.
Okay today. Managed to get in. So, Chris, yeah, I'm on here now.
Yeah, you've done well. You've done well, because it is difficult to disconnect. And I know all about the Jumbo Spot. If you've got any problems, you can shoot me an email to my callsign@gmail.com. I'm quite proficient with the Jumbo Spot. So yeah, eventually we got you on here. So very good to get you on here. If anyone's watching the live video stream, then I'm going to cancel that now because my battery's getting low, and we will QSY to Brandmeister 2351. If anyone's watching the video, QSY to 2351. Over to you, Ben.